So I decided to add the 5 total bolts to the front plate of this tuning capacitor. And then as I add the bolts in, add the spacers on the back. Now, as I'm doing that, I'm about 2 or 3 inches above the workbench with a pair of tweezers, a nice pair of non-magnetic tweezers. I think they're Swiss made, Germany, Swiss, whatever. Swiss. Anyway, the spacer drops off the tweezers. It rolls across the bench, just a half inch, but there's a hole in the bench from when I drilled something. And the spacer drops down in the hole. Now the hole doesn't go all the way through, so I'm able to uh, fish the spacer out of the hole. Everything was fine. And my voice in my head's like, "You've done enough for today. Don't do any more." Well, just as I'm ready to put the assembly down, this fixed plate assembly slid out. Now this, when you take this back white plate off this in order to get in and clean it, put the 2 thin long bolts back down through these 2 standoffs to make sure that it can't slide apart. And that's where I'm at now. That's tomorrow's problem. I also wanted to show you, this is a pink pearl. It's an eraser pencil. It's an eraser. It's regular for leaded pencil. All right, graphite pencil. And you pull a string on it, and then it unravels, and you got a new piece. Now this tip can be cut with a razor blade in many shapes for cleaning stuff. And this is what I use to clean brass with. Miniature. I make it like a little paddle on the end of this thing for cleaning the band switches. The little points on the wafer switches, the little fingers that slide in. I don't actually do the finger. I do the lever. Yeah, let's call it the lever. The lever that goes between the fingers. You don't have to clean the fingers; they're self-cleaning. Once you get the black stuff off the lever that moves through the fingers, you're done. You don't have to spray anything. You could put some Vaseline. Leave it alone. It's good for like 20 years after you clean it correctly. Yeah, you put a spray on it, you'll be back in there 6 months from now. But I just want to show you, yeah, and once you take the back off this, the white, little white pad, let me show you what that looks like. There's also a brass piece, but as soon as you take this off, take the 2 long screws, or bolts, and put them down through these. So these things they can't slide out horizontally, like mine did. Now I have to get the microscope out and count how many plates and figure out how does it mesh with this other set of plates. Is there one on the bottom and one on the top? Or are all the plates in between the top and the bottom of this part? I don't know. We're at that part now. But yeah, I'm like, well, at least I found the spacer. I didn't lose it. And all of a sudden this slides out. And that's what you have to accept. And I told you, if I had more than one of these tuning capacitors, I would have had one rebuilt by now. See, you have one off to the side, and you keep looking at it, and you go, "Oh, that's where that goes." Oh no, oh yeah, no problem. Oh yeah, I'll cut this, and you cut one open, you mess up, you put it off to the side. Now you do the next one, and you learn from the first one. Well, I only have one, and I notice a lot of people are following this. This is a saga, but this is what you go through if you have a one of a kind radio and you really want to fix it, and you've gotten your skill level up there. Now I'm down the other side now. I peaked years ago, and I know I don't have the dexterity in my hands. I don't have a chair that's the right height for the bench. I don't have anything. It's all a matter of willpower with me, working with this crap that I own. But I just want to tell you, yeah, I use a pink pearl, and I think I got 3 of these for $24. These are real expensive now. I don't think they make them anymore. But this is what This is the thing I use for cleaning circuit boards. The fingers that go in the connectors. And you don't rub this on the board over a piece of equipment. You do it off the side, and then you take a little toothbrush or a little acid brush. Look up what an acid brush is, and you wipe it. You wipe it with the brush to make sure you get all the eraser pieces of eraser that come off. All right, and that's what I use. And I'm very serious about it because I know what to expect when cleaning up brass or copper or silver with the pencil. It's an eraser, but it's shaped like a pencil. I just want to show you this. Yeah, we got in deeper. See, I was just gonna. I found the screw. I was just adding this, and I said, let me add a couple more, one or two more standoffs in there, and then this thing just slid out. I'm like, oh man, no. And then you just, I don't even know which way it goes either. If it goes this way in there, or if it goes that way in there. I'll have to look it over. There's probably some kind of indication. Plus, I have the old videos. I'm looking like that. I think that's upside down that way. These things. Like I said, this wasn't made to be repaired. Now, just picture when these things were made. There were lines of Japanese girls sitting at benches, and in front of them, there's carts and little cubby holes with the parts, and they put a couple parts on it. They pass it to the next girl. And then she puts a couple in the next one. And it gets to the end, they test it. And when they test it, if it fails, there's the lead girl is supposed to take it all apart, inspect it, put it all back together again. And I don't know how many hundreds a day they made. This can't be made by machine. It's handmade way back in radios from 1960. And this is the cheap alternative to the metal tuning capacitors. And it's getting me. They save money, but they're not saving me anything. I think that's it. All right, that's it.